Good. Just bounce. So we're going to have a little look at this exercise. Slightly different way of looking at it, perhaps. Um, so the first thing is you need to relax. And the second thing is the exercise is about the central channel in the body. So the central channel in the body, in acupuncture terms, is your Do channel, which runs up the spine. Uh, but it doesn't really mean exactly the acupuncture channel. It's more to do with a feeling of something running right through the middle of your body, and you can ignore acupuncture channels, and yoga has a version of this as well. It's all the same. It all comes down to the same thing. If you imagine a central core running through your body, crown of your head, perineum to your foot. So that's not exactly the Do channel. It's kind of just something running right through the middle of your body. So this is this sort of vertical skewer I'm often talking about, like a vertical kebab. And really what we're doing is we're feeling that line, the vertical axis, and we're bouncing up and down it. So here, universe, heavens, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Here, earth. Here in the middle, humans. Yeah. So you're in effect connecting the two. Now, the idea here is that you're very relaxed when you do this. I mean, really relaxed. You make your body very soft. And it's the only way really that energy can pass through, because anything dead basically goes very hard. It goes solid, which means that energy doesn't really pass through it quite as well. Living matter has energy passing through it all the time. So we need our body to be as soft as possible, which means getting rid of any tensions in the body, anything you're holding on to. You try and release it. Well, don't over-focus on it, because that just simply puts more attention on it and can just make it a little bit harder, in fact. So the softer you can go, the better. And we just have a feeling of moving up and down this vertical line, which is energetic anyway. It's not real. It's an energetic, well, real meaning solid. It's an energetic concept. So when we're doing this exercise, you keep the weight bang in the middle, you feel your vertical axis, and you just bounce up and down on that vertical axis. Now, if your legs start to ache, in a funny way, you kind of want that to happen, because when the legs start to ache, you're actually starting to involve the musculature, which is good because you need the muscles to be strong to support you. So we need to develop that in a way. I'm not saying we have to go to the gym and do tons of stuff, although there's no harm in doing that. It's just how it's done. It's important. So we want the legs to work. You need to be supported. Your legs need to function extremely well, because that enhances longevity. But the main focus we've got here is on you completely relaxing as much as you can. Check where your weight is. Is it on one leg more than the other? In other words, if your legs are getting a little bit tired, you can feel something going on in the legs, then it possibly means you've got a little bit more weight. You're favoring one leg more than the other. Not necessarily. You might have got an injury there or something, so it's not always true. So we have this idea of the vertical column. Now, the vertical column, your pelvis drops, but your neck lifts. And this is where the problems begin, because as soon as you try to lift your neck, you start creating tension in the body, which is exactly what we're trying not to do. So this is where Alexander technique comes in as well. It's about how do you release your neck? It's how do you let go? And this is this whole thing of actually not doing anything. So you try and stretch your neck up, please don't. You try and stretch your neck upwards, and you're actually causing your shoulders to be involved a little bit, possibly, the sides of the head even here, definitely the back of the neck, back of the head even. So that's no good. So all you can do is just not do. So you take your mind to your neck, take your consciousness to your neck, and just soften there. Just really soften it. Make it almost liquid. And just watch your pelvis drop. Just observe. But your neck is very relaxed. Very, very soft. We then get the feeling of the spine. You can get the feeling of the spine hanging off the neck. It's almost like the neck only drops 2 inches, but the spine and the pelvis drop 4 inches or something. You know, I'm making up numbers here. But we need the feeling of the body hanging from the neck. Good. That's it. There's more to it, because you can also have the feeling of when you stand up, the spine is being lengthened by the standing up process. The spine is being extended as well as you stand up. So it's a more complicated exercise than appears. Right, so we're going to move straight on to the stretch exercise, but not the whole thing. We're looking at one particular thing in the stretch exercise, which is the involvement of the abdomen and the back. Okay, so we can pick 1 or 2 of these stretches. We don't have to do the whole thing. And we're going to do the stretch forwards, and we'll probably just do the stretch sideways as well, because we don't really need to do much else. So you keep your feet parallel. Yeah, basically they're being supported by the shoulders. You don't really want any wider, because we don't want the shoulders to be in the middle. This becomes a different sort of posture. Even here would be okay. Shoulders slightly outside the feet, that will be okay as well. And what you're going to do is you're going to drop your shoulders as you lift the arms. So down go the shoulders, up go the arms. We're going straight into this. Now you rock onto the balls of the feet more than normal. Okay, rock right onto the balls of the feet. And you can perhaps feel your lower back coming into play. Something's working in your lower back. Yeah. Just go back on your heels more than normal, so that your toes aren't coming off the ground, but it's not far off, and you'll now perhaps feel the abdomen engaging here. If your knees bend slightly, it doesn't matter. You can let them bend. If they don't, you don't have to, but you can if you want. Now go back forwards again and feel your lower back engaging. Okay, and now come back in the middle. Okay, relax. So we talked about this last time. You have this line of fascia which runs up the front from tip of your breastbone here down to the symphysis pubis here at the front. This runs up and down. This is one line you're feeling engaging. We've also got this the rectus sheath here on the side, which, you know, 6-pack if you like, but these muscles here on the front. And then we've got this triangular or diamond shape, I should really say, from the tip of the tailbone, or maybe a little higher, but you can say tip of tailbone, up to the pelvic points here, and then joining higher up around about here in the middle of your back. Okay, so it's like a diamond shape coming down there. Now, when you go forward onto the balls of the feet, that's what you're going to feel, that diamond shape. So again, drop your shoulders, lift the hands up ahead of you. Okay, now you're going to rock onto the balls of your feet more than normal, and just feel that engaging gently. Really stretch. I mean, really stretch, you know, go for it. And now go back on your heels and feel the line on the front stretching, the linea alba, and also feel the rectus sheath just being engaged. Yeah, and now relax. Let go of the arms. Let's come back, just do 3 of these. So you breathe in, open the palms, and you breathe out and just bring them together, hang the muscles, usual, nothing changed. Breathing in, 2, and 1 more. Good. And let's just do the arms sideways one. So we'll do the same thing again. You're going to go more than normal onto the ball of the foot. Yeah. So really go forwards. Okay. So feel your back engaged, that diamond shape on the back. So now examine the diamond shape a little bit in the sense that go to where the top of your hip bones are on left and right, because you should feel that engaged slightly down to the tip of the tailbone and up somewhere in the middle of your back. So you're just sensing in the body. That's all you have to do. Just sense what goes on. Don't engage. Don't try and do anything. Don't try and tense it. Whatever you do, just allow it to be done. Okay, now go back onto your heels. So first of all, we feel the line at the front, the linea alba from below the breastbone. Your toes are almost coming off. It's best to, if you want to really feel it, go a little bit further back. And right down to the symphysis pubis. So can you feel under the breastbone? And can you feel where the symphysis pubis is, where your pelvis joins at the front? And now you've got these other muscles. The rectus capitis is in the back of your head. The rectus sheath. Okay, feel those engaging. So you'll feel. I'm just going to move my hands. Don't move yours. So here you'll feel around the sides just engaging slightly. Yeah. And then relax. Yeah. Okay. And then we do three of these. Bones open, fingers lengthen. Yeah, good. Okay. All right. So we're coming back to this place now. You need a chair. So this is something I'm going to stick with. I'm going to stick with this quite a bit at the moment, only because I used to worry that. Hang on a second. Let me just switch this off. Wait a minute. It's just who's here. Let me just double check who's here as well. Okay. Yeah. Lovely. Um, Oh yeah. Okay, great. Lada, you made it. Excellent. Okay. So, oh, what's that? Oh yeah, I got it. Okay. Right. So, well, we're gonna work on this quite a bit. This idea of using your center, engaging your center, simply because I used to think that every time I did a class, I had to do something different. You know, it's like I had to provide new information all the time. You actually don't have to, because a lot of this stuff requires just a lot of practice to get the hang of it, so it becomes second nature. And you have to keep on and on and on doing it until it does become second nature. So this point here, inch and a half below your tummy button, okay, chi high. The small of your back, where we were talking about before, that's the Ming Mun point, the gate of life. This is the sea of energy here, sea of chi. And then we've also got this point here of the solar plexus, which is basically the tip of your breastbone here. And then we've got the point, which is the perineum, which, if you like, you can think of it as being the symphysis pubis, but actually it's more in the middle of your body. So, so what we're doing is when we engage here, we squeeze internally about a third of the way inside the body. And so you can do it breathing in or out, doesn't matter. You do whichever you like. So you squeeze internally and feel like you're holding onto something maybe there with the inside. And then you just release it. Okay, now when you do the squeezing, first by all means be hard. Do it hard if you like. But as you do get the feeling of it and you can feel something moving inside you here, ease it off. So even the slightest of squeezes, you can feel something going on here. It's really, really tiny. But please start off hard if you feel nothing. Sometimes you need to work these things at first just to get the sensation. So you breathe in, you breathe out, whichever you prefer, and then when you release slowly. Don't suddenly let go. Just do it very gently. Sorry, something on my foot there. Okay, so Just do it. Now, I've done a lot of this. So for me, what I do is I hardly do it at all. And I become an observer of all these points, tip of your breastbone, pelvic floor here, and also the front and the back. But I'm also aware of around the waist, which is an acupuncture channel called the Dai Mei, the belt channel. We've talked about it before, which also compresses gently. All this is being pulled in. But we've also just done an exercise a minute ago about the rectus sheath here, and we've done the linea alba, and we did this sort of diamond shape part of you on your back here, which also is engaging. So when you do your pull in, you'll find these places engaging as well. And we want that. But just don't overdo it. It's just enough to feel it going on so that it becomes an auto reaction. When you squeeze internally, these places just are triggered, just automatically. You don't have to work at it, they just happen. Just keep going on it because I've got more to say, I'm afraid, on this as usual. When you do the squeezing in, you are focusing on the squeezing in. You are not focusing on pulling your pelvic floor up, nor are you focusing on pushing down here, nor pulling in here, nor pulling in here. You're not focusing on those points, but you will find that they do it for you. You just don't have to work at it. And it's tiny. It's really small. You're not going to feel some massive, obvious movement. All you have to do is make all those places work at precisely the same time. But even what I've just said is not good because that's making them work at the same time. And that's not what you want. What you need is just to pull in the middle and all the places are pulled in equally at the same moment. Okay, we just keep going. And will you notice whether you're breathing in when you squeeze or you're breathing out when you squeeze? Neither is right nor wrong. Okay, you just do notice which one you're doing. Okay, we're going to do both now, one after the other. Okay, so would you take a big breath in, do nothing here, just breathe in and now breathe out. Okay, when you're going to do your next in breath in a second, ready? Start breathing in and squeeze and then release. You're letting go here on the out breath. When you breathe in, you're squeezing internally, very gentle. And when you breathe out, you're opening. One more. Breathe in and squeeze. Breathe out and release. Okay, so you're basically doing reverse breathing. Okay, variation on reverse breathing, but frankly, not much of a variation. Okay, now take a huge breath in. And when you breathe out, release here. Oh, no, 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 other way around. Hang on. No, 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 other way around. Okay, I was wondering how to explain this. Okay, so take a huge breath in, breathe out completely. Okay, and squeeze. Oh, God, got to start again. Hold on. And breathe out completely. I've got to reverse it, right? We've got to do it the other way. This is abdominal breathing. So what we're going to do is we're going to expand as we when you pull in here, you're actually going to expand, okay? Rather than you're going to allow this. This will the pulling in here will be an out breath. Okay, so Breathe in. Yeah, this is better. Here we go. Breathe in. Now breathe out and pull in. Breathe in and let it go. Breathe out and pull in. Now just keep going on this because there's a bit more to go. Breathing in, let this feel like it's really expanding. Let it all go, just let it undo. And then when you breathe in, the other way. So breathing out is going to be pulling in and breathing in is going to be expanding, right? If it's all gone wrong, the trouble is I always do reverse breathing on this, but you can do either. Yeah. So breathing in is going to fill your belly. Breathing out is going to contract it. Yeah. So you can just do it. Okay, so the second one, the abdominal one, breathing in and fill, breathing out and contract. This is abdominal breathing, and it's good. It's very good for your health. Generally, it's a great health exercise. The other one is going to produce energy. It's actually going to generate energy, and it's what we'll use more for when we do the microcosmic orbit, the circling of energy around the body, up the spine, down the front, etc., etc. That's what we use. We need the reverse because the reverse energy compresses more in the middle. Everything's being compressed, and then you release it. Yeah. So the compression with the in breath. Okay. So let's do that again. Right. So breathe out. Okay, you're going to breathe in and you're going to compress in here. You're going to squeeze gently. If you want to do hard just to get the feeling of it. And then breathe out and release your tummy. When you breathe in, compress. And when you breathe out, release. Okay, so when you compress here on the in-breath, the air can no longer go right down to the abdomen here. It can't reach it because this is pulling in effect. The air is forced to go up higher, but when you breathe out, the air should sink downwards. You should have a feeling of the chest and the energy, the air, let's just call it the air, sinking. Okay, so breathe out. Breathe in. Squeeze internally. This all fills a little bit. And then breathe out and have a feeling of this settling. Breathing in, it's all up here, the breath. And now the breath, as you breathe out, settles. Breathing in, pull in. Breathing out, settle. So we need a sinking feeling on the out breath. Breathing in, pull in. So you're squeezing. Breathing out, release slowly and just let the breath settle downwards. Breathing in, squeeze. Breathing out, release. Kind of carry on with this a bit. Breathing in. Breathing out. Abdomen settles. Breathing in, pull in. Breathing out, release the abdomen. Breathing in, pull in. And out. Now, if it makes you feel dizzy, which you may do if you're not used to it, just stop breathing like this for a second, breathe normally for a minute till you stop feeling dizzy and then start again. It won't do you any harm. You're just not used to it. And breathing out. And breathing in, pull in, abdomen, squeeze internally. And breathing out, just let it go. Now, this is how we start steering energy in the body. So my hand going up and down is merely what your breath is your breath's going to be up the top here, breathing in. So it's like this is the breath's all up here. and then the breath drops. Amongst other things, this exercise is very good for prostates, for men, incontinence for all of us, um, strengthening the pelvic floor, prevention of hernias, prolapses of all sorts. So I'm not going very slowly on this. I'm doing a very medium speed, in fact, probably quite a fast speed, but just so because I'm talking and I can't focus on it very well, although I'm doing exactly what I'm saying, I'm not really working on it. So if I'm now going to stop speaking, I'm going to go slower. So breathe out. Now I'm breathing out. And I'm really letting go of everything down there. I'm just finishing breathing out now. Now I'm breathing in and I'm squeezing. I'm engaging, doing the squeeze. And then I'm breathing out. So whatever speed works for you, really, you can relax. Whatever speed works for you, you'll find that the faster you do it, the more you start to potentially hyperventilate. So it's not that great. So the idea really is start at whatever speed you want to start at and gradually don't deliberately try and slow it down. It's one of those things that the body gets its own rhythm and it will find its own way to do it and it'll actually naturally slow down by itself. But if you try and make it slow down, it's not nearly so good. Okay, lovely. Okay, so just standing up, we're going to some Jianzhuang, standing Qigong, and we're going to look at the arms and the back, and then we're going to look at the engaging here again to make the knees bend and then combining the two. We've done this before. It's nothing new. Um, uh, might be for one or two people, but there's not a lot new. So most important thing is in Jianzhuang, standing Qigong, standing like a tree, standing pole for translation. Although why standing pole or tree? Maybe it just means an upright thing, a tree or a pole. I don't know the exact. I've never looked into the exact translation of that. I just say it. I should look into it really. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to just leave your legs out of the equation for a second. And what we're going to do is we're going to lift the arms up, but you're going to make sure your shoulders don't lift. So you push your arms away from you and up to shoulder height. They're rounded, the arms are very round. You've got a circular shape on the, if I bend forward so you can see I've got a rounded shape here. Yeah, and bring them down again, right? So we need to engage the back at the same time. That doesn't mean you push backwards, it means you feel your back. So when you're lifting here, all I do is I'm conscious of the space, roughly speaking, between my shoulder blades. I don't have to do anything with it, but I feel that working at the same moment. So these do not lift. Whatever you do, don't lift your shoulders, okay? So here we go. So you just push your arms away. I've already feeling my back. My back is what I'm mainly focusing on, actually. I'm working on relaxing my back, and up go the arms. Okay, so I must have got a little bit of tension in this shoulder then, because halfway up, because I was really focusing on relaxing my back, I got a little click going on here as a little bit of tendon or ligament pinged against the bone, maybe, which it doesn't matter. That's fine. Bring them down again. Yeah. So the more you relax, the more you'll get these little pings going on, you know, little sounds, internal sounds going on within the shoulder girdle. Just let it happen. It's not going to harm you. Okay, so here, off we go. I'm feeling my back already as my arms start to lift towards the screen, and off I go. And I'm up to the position which I'm going to hold for a minute, 5 minutes, an hour, whatever. Okay. So bring your hands down. So next thing is You have to be really careful not to get your neck tense when you're doing this. So what we do is we do what we started off with the feeling of the neck lengthening. So again, it's a feeling of the neck lengthening. It's not you making the neck lengthen. It is an undoing, not a doing. Okay. So here we go again. So shoulders drop and you feel your back, feel your back. Now relax your neck, feel your back, relax your neck, feel the back. So the neck is, you can count it as part of the back. I have not brought my neck into play at all. I managed to do it without even involving it. And back down again. Yeah, we're going to do that again. So feel your back going backwards. Shoulders have dropped. It's not, I don't even have to feel it going backwards. I just feel my back working, involved in this process. And my neck. Yeah, and we'll just do that once more. So come down again. And once we get into the position and we've got the legs going, we'll hold it for a minute or two, but not for too long, simply because of time constraints. Okay, so ready? I'm involving my back already. I'm making sure the neck doesn't get involved. The back is doing all the work here of lifting my arms up. It almost feels like that's the engine on the hoist. And then I come down again. Yeah, so actually the hoist and the engine on the hoist is not, I think it's not too bad an analogy. If you think of I'm not sure about cranes these days, but I just know when I was a kid, I had a little crane, and here was the body of the crane, where the driver sat, and here was the, the crane, and there's the string dropping down with a hook, and you had a little. It was mechanical in those days. This is going back, right? And you'd wound the string up from here. It's a little bit like that. So what you do is you wind the string up by completely releasing that. And here, up goes the hoist, up goes the crane. And you're completely just relaxing your back. So your focus is on here. You watch the string lift, yeah, but here's where the work is going on. Sorry, it's a really crap analogy, isn't it? So here we go. So off we go, just do it once more. And okay, I'm involving my back. So my back is now doing all the work. I'm making sure that my neck stays soft, but it's my back that is actually the engine in the lift. And I'm up. You will know when you get this right, because lifting the arms feels really easy, because you've got an excellent balance with forwards and backwards. The balance is perfect, and basically you have just rotated in the middle. There's my little winding handle again. Yep, so now we do this, we do the knees bending. So let's just leave the arms out for 2 seconds. You're going to engage here. So start engaging internally, just like we did when we were sitting down, engage. Okay, so I can now feel this all coming into play. It's like it's connected all the way down my legs to my knees. So all I do is I keep engaging very gently, and then I allow the knees to bend and push forwards. So the order of events is, and this is what we did last time, the order of events is 1, engage, observe, see how the knees are brought into play, keep engaging here and let the knees be pushed forward. We still have to work on the pelvis, and this is what last time I said we'd look at the pelvis, and we'll do that in a second. So here we go. Engage. Okay, this is all now engaged right down to my knees, and I keep engaging, and I let the pelvis just go. I just keep engaging. I feel the knees being bent for me. Yeah. So the knees pushing forwards is another little crane. So here is where the engine, this is the winding thing here. Okay, and as I engage, it's actually drawing me down. Yeah, but I'm focusing on here. I'm focusing on this, and I'm letting this happen as a result of this taking place. So it's coming from here. It's being initiated from this point. So there we are. Off we go. So you engage and you start doing your winding. Oh, here come the knees. It's engaged. It's connected. Okay, it's connected, and I keep winding, and I keep winding, and I keep winding in the middle, and I sit down and my knees are bent as much or as little as I like. Don't have to go low. Not necessary, but you'll find that if you want to strengthen your legs, going low is actually really useful. So the next thing about this is what do you do with your pelvis? Because it's quite easy to go tight around the buttocks, around the top of the buttocks. Here's my sacrum, the bone in the middle. Yeah. Here, either side, it's quite easy to go quite tense around this area here. Okay, so hang on a second. Let me just get a pelvis. Okay, so here's a pelvis. Yeah, he looks in worse shape than usual. Ignore the top. He's all wrong. Okay, so here's the pelvis. This is the bit we're interested in. Yep. So what we're interested in is this feeling on here. So here's your symphysis pubis. This is the front here. Yep. This is your back. Okay. Yep. So symphysis pubis, and here is your sacrum. This triangular bone, which is 4 vertebrae fused together, not the tip. That's 5 separate little vertebrae, which are not fused together. But here's the sacrum, which is 4 vertebrae, which are literally fused together. Here we have the sacroiliac joints. Here and here. These are the sacroiliac joints. They need to be fluid, but not too much. So the problem we get is that one tends to tense in those sacroiliac joints. Now, when you were born, this was not joined here. And although it joins, it doesn't fuse completely. There's still pliability here, but I think I'm right in saying this. I'll have to double check later on, but I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. Terrible trouble with his spine. Yeah, it's really not good, is it? So here, what I need is when I sit down, I need a feeling of, I can't do this with this because it's fixed, but there's a feeling of the pelvis literally parting sideways. Now, you can see here in the middle, this is where this is not just organs through here. This is blood vessels, it's nerves, and it's muscles, ligaments, tendons, which pass through. So a lot of your muscles for your legs originate here on the back of your spine, and they pass down through here, but also down the back. And some of you, if you have sciatica, you'll know about this. You felt that discomfort, that tends to be more down the back. But here, this houses it's got a lot of space. And what we want to do is, because we tend to compress rather and squeeze everything up here, we have to have the feeling of this actually separating sideways, if possible. Now then, this is just a feeling thing. Again, you can't make it happen. It's like trying to release your neck. You can't make this happen. All you can do is undo internally. And it's tricky, yeah? So those of you who've given birth, you'll know that the pelvis has this huge capacity for expansion. So yes, it has the capacity. Therefore, we should be able to just release it a little bit ourselves, maybe. Okay, it's not going to be massive, but we should be able to do it to a certain extent. Okay, so we're going to engage here. So start your engine working here. Off it goes. Yeah. This then starts to make the knees bend. And just get into the position when you've sat down a little bit. Okay, so you've sat down a bit, right? There's your pelvis, there's the bowl of your pelvis. Now you need to have that feeling as though the two halves of the pelvis are undoing and separating. And to get that, particularly, release the buttocks here. So when you release these muscles here on either side of your sacrum, you may get a feeling of this happening, a separation taking place. Yeah, and then stand up. We're going to do it again because you have to, like all these things, you have to repeat to get a habit in effect. So what we don't really want is, let me just do this, hold on. What we don't want is start winding, sit down, stop sitting down. Now pelvis does that. Ideally, what we want is the pelvis naturally, without you even really having to work at it, does that automatically as part of the process of sitting down. But separate them off for the moment because you have to practice these things. So off we go. We start winding. Here we go. I've squeezed internally. Okay, off we go. I can feel the front of my legs. I can feel my knees going. And now I'm almost there. I'm starting to widen my pelvis. I feel like the bowl of the pelvis is widening, particularly here. But now I'm going to look at the symphysis pubis as well. And I'm just going to feel like that undoes a little bit. That's a bit harder. For me, I don't know about for you, but for me, I find that a bit harder. And now I'm going back to here, and I'm feeling that widening a little bit more. Okay, so to be fairly disgusting about this, well, probably I don't find it disgusting, but I think some people do. When you go to the loo in the morning or whenever you go, this is not for a pee. You know, you sit down and what do? You relax. Your pelvis does that. You need an opening. Do it now. So you're sitting down as if you were on the toilet, WC, loo, whatever you want to call it. Just relax internally. And that's the feeling. I don't know if you've noticed what also happens here, that when you do that, your legs feel like they're pressing outwards very slightly. You certainly didn't do that. Absolutely not. There's an expansion that goes on. And whilst we're at it, that expansion that goes on there, without you actually physically moving necessarily, matches this expansion here. Look at the arms. They kind of feel like they're bowing out a little bit. There's, someone pushing here they would feel it's hard to push. Okay, right, here we go. We're going to put the whole thing together. Stand up, weight in the middle. Okay, now then, you have to just do a bit of switching around between this winding here and this winding up here. Okay, so off we go. Start winding. I feel my back, my arms are lifting. It's making my knees bend. My back is still lifting the arms. I've relaxed my neck. I can feel my pelvis beginning to undo and widen. I feel the pubic bone undoing and widening. I relax more. I then have that same feeling, because you can actually use that sitting on the loo idea as, it can help you at first. So you just have that same feeling you get. I mean, it's something we all do, so we all know the feeling. And we just stay there. Yeah, that's it. Just lower. So sometimes it doesn't work very well the first time. We did it in one shot. We put together loads of things all at the same time. And, your head's going, oh my God, forgot that bit, forgot the neck, forgot all these bits. But that's okay. Then you stop, you come out of it and you start again and you repeat it and you repeat it and you repeat it. And eventually the body learns. And eventually you don't have to think of half the things because the body's already learned and it does them for you. And that's what we want. We want to encourage good habits of the way the body works in this exercise. And then suddenly your hands start tingling, your legs start tingling, everything starts working. Everything functions better and the energy passes through your body, down the legs, down the arms, let's say up into your head, over the head, round your face, round your chest. Everything is functioning really efficiently. Good. Okay. So, the pause is just so I can cut that bit out and make a separate video of it. Right, now then, we're going to look at the 10 move form and we're going to do the grass sparrow's tail section, which is, we're going to do both sides and the connection. So 2 weeks ago, we looked at pung and we looked at an, push. Last week, we looked at lu, sinking, feeling that the hand's carrying on. There's the end of lu. This elbow sinking, connecting to the hip. We had that feeling of all that going on. And the hip turning and therefore bringing the elbows with you. So you've got both working simultaneously. We're thinking in terms of energy as much as possible. So where energy comes and carries on until it runs out, and then you squeeze, this is G, press, and you move forwards, and the inside hand was rotating. Whether you start side of hand on or back of hand, not important really, but here you expand and the elbows are lifting during the expansion. So let's just do grass the sparrow's tail. I'm going to do it with my back to you, although only to start off with, because we then turn to your right. Okay, so here we go. Weight on the right foot, arms out here. You're going to do a left foot kick. So you do your kick, you place the foot, You sink the right arm and you turn towards your right. Settle. As you squeeze the arms together, lifting the right arm up in front of your chest, place your foot. Now use the back of the right arm, pung. Circle the left arm round towards the right elbow. You can slip your heel there a bit. Sink the elbows and they're following your hips, which are now turning. And the hips turn a little bit more and there's the end of Lu. It's gone out there somewhere. Now then, join the hands together and sit onto your back foot. Don't expand your hands away from your body much. Rotate the inside hand and move forwards. Now you're going to expand away and the hands have moved. I haven't even separated them yet. Now I separate them and I sink toe up and I'm down to my pelvis, slight turn to the left, and then I push forwards with the elbows and hands. Okay, so there's something else I did not demonstrate at all well there, which is the and push. Let's quickly do that and push. I only didn't just show, I didn't say it, rather, more to the point. So you're here on press. So this is your right hand, your right foot is forward, your left hand has reached palm on your wrist. Sit back and you've wiped, but you haven't separated, or a little bit maybe. Now then, sink your elbows. Now this move is called an. An means push down. So there's a push down with the elbows, but follow it with a slight push down with the hands and then push elbows and hands away. The push is not an. An is the sinking elbows and the look at the hands go down a little bit. Don't push them down here. It's very difficult. I mean, that is still an, but because you're going to push forwards, you just want to sink. Hang on, let me get more in the screen. So you settle, your right foot's forward. Okay, so your right foot's forward, you can face me, we can do it together. Okay, so sink, toe up, down go the elbows towards your hips. Don't pull them behind the hips, keep them level. Now, slight push down, there's an. I mean, even the elbows was an. And now, feel like your elbows are pushing first. Feel like your elbows are now extended into the hands. Not like this, it's too much, you don't need that much. Right. Let's do the other side, because the other side is an absolute mirror with a little connection. Okay, so here we go. Right foot forward. I'm not in mirror. Right foot forward, hands here. Am I in the screen? Yeah, I can afford to go forward a bit. Okay, so from here, sit back, turn your body, turn the hips, and turn the foot. Your weight is now on your left foot. Your right foot has turned because the hip has turned. We're not doing this, which we can do without moving our hips. We're trying to avoid that as much as possible. Okay, ready? Double hand push. Sit back, turn, and turn on the heel. Good. Okay, let's look at that turn. Hands just face me now. Don't need your feet. Just parallel. Hands here. Push and separate. Absolutely symmetrically. Good. Okay. So the line elbow to hip simply moved around the hip. Yeah, you're there. Split. Keep the elbows sunk. Not too much. Don't force them in. Okay, in a minute we're going to lift them very slightly. So just be aware of elbow and hip is, I guess, what I'm really saying. So round you come. Good. Okay. When you do this, you actually can release the elbows a bit because an is a squeeze. Look, the elbows squeeze together as you do push on that last move. So what I can do, and I'm going to overdo it, please don't do it this much, okay? So look how, this is over squeezed, right? I've over squeezed for my push, and then the next move, look at the elbows. I've just allowed them to open slightly. So they've kind of lifted slightly like this. See, the hands are in the same place, not really moving, but the elbows are lifted. So here we go. Ready? We can put right foot forward. You're facing this way. You sit back and you release the fingers and you turn. And you're turning your hips. Okay, so this elbow here, which you should be able to see, has followed this hip turn, and this one didn't stay over there. It came round with this hip. So my arms have not stayed in exactly the same place. They are turning. So if I try and, is this going to work in a screen? God knows, let's try. So if I'm pushing towards you and I'm going to turn that way, I push, you see how this elbow's coming round? because the hip's turned, it's going to bring that arm round a bit, but I've still got this feeling of spreading. It's just that the elbow and the hips work together. You have to feel that connection in the body. So right foot forward. Okay, ready, sit back, release the wrists, turn. Notice how your elbows are bringing particularly that left arm round. Okay, now then, your foot's arrived, put it flat and sink your left arm. Keep the body turning and bring your right arm round towards maybe the corner. You're not going to get it round to this wall. It's too much, and it means you start trying to do this to get it round. Okay, once more. Weight on the right foot, ready? Release the hands, shift the weight, turn. And now sink your left arm and the right hand is coming round. Maybe the corner. And now squeeze this arm. Now it might come round to this wall here. Yeah, it might come round. And this arm is going to start to lift. And there's a squeeze happening, a vertical squeeze, up with the bottom hand, down with the top elbow. And at the same moment, you place that heel out. And again. So it's a tricky move, only because there's so many things to coordinate. Ready? Right foot forward. How are we doing on time? Yep, we're okay. Release the wrists, turn. Sink the left arm, the right hand's coming around, maybe as far as the corner. Now squeeze the arms together, keep the body turning slightly, place your heel. This is lifted slightly, this is sunk slightly, and now move forwards and finish off. Okay, and again, because there's something else I should have said. The top arm, it's going to be the elbow sinking. Don't think of pushing the hand down yet, not too early. Okay, once again. Yeah. 1, release, turn. 2, sink the arm. The other one's coming round. Corner maybe. Now the right arm is coming round towards your left wall, and you start to sink your elbow without dropping the hand. Same time, the left hand, no, that's your right hand, is lifting. Oh no, it's your left hand. We're not in mirror. And lift up, it's your left hand. Place your heel. And now pung outwards. Good. Feet are still at 90 degrees. You haven't done anything else with that other than turn it in the first move. So yeah, if I said left and right's the wrong way around, it's because I'm so used to doing this in mirror. Once again. Weight on the left, release. 1. Your foot's turned. Sink your left arm, round comes the right arm. Squeeze the arms together, start lifting the bottom hand, start sinking the top elbow, place your foot, and now press out with the back of the hand. 90 degrees on the feet. Body is going to be facing this corner. No way can it face the wall. It's impossible. You can't do it. Oh, you probably could, but it's really uncomfortable. Good, okay. So now let's do the very first, after the first kick, the second kick, and the first time we do it when we go to that side, your right side. So we're going from here, and we've got exactly the same thing going on here. You ready? Lift up your left foot, kick, place your foot, sink the right arm. The left hand's coming round, it's going towards the corner. Start dropping the elbow of the left arm whilst the right hand starts to lift up the front and place your heel. And now use the back of the arm as you push down and move forwards. Chest is facing the corner over there. We're going to carry on. Circle round, sink elbows. Push down with the right hand gently and the other arm carries on and actually lifts. Squeeze the arms together. All the weight is on your back foot. Your body's now square to the right. Inside hand rotates, left palm on right wrist. You're now going to press away. Sink the elbows, toe up. Gentle push down on the hands. And now elbows first, hands second. Ready for the turn. Release the wrists. The hips are turning, so therefore the elbows start to move. You settle the left elbow and the right hand's coming around to the corner, approximately. Squeeze the arms together. Sink the right elbow, start lifting the left hand, place the foot. Now, forwards. Feet are at 90 degrees at the moment. Circle the right arm out and round and let your heels slip. Sink your elbows. Ready. Push down and the other one carries on out the side. Fold the right hand in, sit right back. Inside hand and the elbows lift. Expand forwards as you sit backwards. Split, turn. Here we go. Elbows first, hands slightly second, and now feel the elbows first and push hands second. End of form 8. Good. That's it. Lovely. Let's do a finisher. Come to width. It's going to involve this, by the way. Breathing in, use your back. This is like standing Qigong. Use the back, feel the back. Don't do much with it, just feel it. Okay, now engage your center and sit down. Gentle pull in here, squeeze. This made your knees bend. Release the wrists. Now push away, use your back. Split the hands. Now engage your center. It made the knees bend. Down, scoop down, lift up the middle a little bit. And now use your back. Feel. Just feel your back. And now engage your center. Every time we sit down, it engages your knees, makes them bend. Then halfway with the hands, only to just breastbone height. And now engage your center and lower. Do one more. And use your back. Use your center. Makes the knees bend. Use your back. Engage the center. It's pulling the elbows in even as well this time. And slightly up. Then open your back. Just release it. Fold in. Center. Up. Breastbone. Center. Last one, you don't have to involve the back really particularly. Good, back to your sides.